Hello, my name is Naoki Tebi. This is time for Researchers Camp. In this program, we introduce the researchers all over the universe. Today's researcher is Mr. Toru Noguchi, guest professor of Hokkaido University, Center for Engineering Education Department, a former professor in mechanical engineering. Mr. Noguchi, nice to meet you.
Good afternoon.
First of all, could you tell me about your current research team?
Yes, my research subject is one is casting. Casting is a metal processing way to make some metal parts by pouring liquid metal to sand mold. Mold is a pattern with cavity in which the metal solidifies. Okay, and another my interested in failure analysis. Failure analysis is a process to find causes of metal failing accidents. Around us, so many accidents caused by the metal failure. The failure analysis is to investigate the cause of the accident.
Why do you focus on this research?
Yes, both of the research subjects are from my former professor, Professor Nagaoka. He was a mechanical engineer, but also a foundry engineer.
How do you research? How do you carry out the research?
Yes, for casting research, we need electric furnace and mold making machines and other equipment for making castings, but I don't have this equipment, and so I always collaborate with outside companies. About the failure analysis, I have been asked to investigate failure accidents from outside companies or police force or regional court.
I think casting and failure analysis is a different field.
Yeah, it's on the quite different field, but actually both of them are combination of mechanical engineering and material engineering. For casting, we should know the properties of the materials and also mechanics and others. And on failure analysis, the same. For failure analysis, we must have knowledge about the materials and structure, microstructures, and how to fail. And also mechanical engineering field, stress analysis and like that.
Okay. This field, advanced technology.
Yeah, this is not quite not exactly in a very advanced field, but rather basic and fundamental engineering technology field.
Fundamental technology.
Yeah.
Could you tell me this field situation in the field of the field?
Yes, in this field, my field is just between material engineering and mechanical engineering, but this field is decreasing because, as I said before, it's not a very advanced field, that it is very difficult to get budget from the government or industries.
So next, could you tell me about your resources you can give to other researchers?
Yes, maybe the most interesting result of my research work is the technology of casting insertion. Casting insertion is a technology to join or weld cast iron and other steel parts at the same time of casting. And my technology and theory was applied to here. This is the rear axle of the truck, and this is the model of the rear axle housing. So far, it was made by cast steel, but with my technique and theory, it became possible to make a cast iron. And here is the steel ring. And with my technique, steel ring and cast iron are welded at the same time of the casting.
Before you can develop this technique, nobody can.
Yeah, it is my first. Of course, the technique itself was known from the maybe 100 years ago, but the theory was not established. So I established theory and the technique and applied to the industry.
Okay. To show me your resource, your human network.
Yes, about human network, I have a very wide human network in foundry business. For example, in the big foundry companies in Honshu area, to the small businesses, small foundries near Sapporo area.
You know so many people.
Yes.
So when you want to meet them, can you introduce them?
Yes, of course.
Next, please show me your future planning.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I retired myself that I don't have my own laboratory that it is impossible to develop my research itself, but I'd like to tell and pass my knowledge and techniques to the next generation, especially in the industry people.
Why?
Yes, because in these days, as I said before, the number of researchers in the university is decreasing, and because this field not exactly very advanced area. Okay, my idea, but this field of engineering is very important. In my idea, technology's progress is in this way. Here is a well-known area of technology, thought to be past phase. Here is the unknown and the future region of technology, and usually they call that advanced technology. That area just between known and unknown, and biotechnologies and information technology, nanotechnologies are thought to be advanced technology. But just between the both area, I have intermediate area, and in the intermediate area there are so many holes, blanks, or cavities of the knowledge, and we are required to solve these problems. And these areas, there are subjects necessary to be solved for future advance of the technologies. And this is necessary for further development of society, I think. And casting technologies and failure analysis, those are between these areas, I think.
This field is very important for not only in Japan, but also
the situation is the same in European countries and the United States. So in this area, it is difficult to get budget from the government, and so the number of the research people are decreasing from the universities.
Okay. This is last question. Question your resources you want to get from as a researcher.
Yes. It depends on the cases and problems I will be involved. For example, in the casting, the knowledge about the surface physics or surface chemistry will be required, or maybe simulation technique will be required. For failure analysis, for example, precise stress analysis technique will be required, or corrosion chemistry may be required. And I'd like to collaborate any people who would like to apply the basic science to industrial applications.
Okay, thank you very much.